I have talked many times in the past how I'm not a huge fan of the Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons. I think they're too small, the buttons are too small, you know, the analog sticks definitely, you know, Joy-Con drift, we've all heard of that. What are your thoughts about Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons? Let me know down in the comments. But as such, I'm always on the lookout for a good quality replacement Joy-Con. And the team over at Nyxi have recently just sent us their Hyperion wireless controller for the Nintendo Switch. And they are actually saying that it's compatible with the Switch Lite, more on that in a minute, and of course the Switch OLED, designed to replace your original Joy-Cons and give you a better overall grip, better performance, and hopefully less of a likelihood at Joy-Con drift. We're going to take these out of the box, we're going to see how they come out of the box, charge them up, and we're going to test them out. Let's get started. So here we have the Nyxi Hyperion wireless controller. Again, they do call out the Switch Lite, which is interesting because you can't directly connect these to the Switch Lite, but it's compatible in tabletop mode. So there's that. And it does have a couple different LED light options on here. Palette Breathe and Rainbow Breathe. There's a shot of the controller on the side. Same thing on that side, just the reverse angle. So let's take a look at the back. 8-color RGB fiber optic light bar provides you with a cool gaming atmosphere. Now, comfort stick, it says a high precision 3D joystick. It does not call out Hall effect sensors. So my assumption here, these are traditional potentiometers. They do call out an ergonomic feel and design, vibration, faster operation, and free your hands. That's bad translation, I'll just say that. 2 advanced gaming buttons for on-the-fly button mapping. And then model number, this is the YS40, and all the other contact information down below. Now one thing, does it say what the capacity of the battery is? Does not say the capacity down here. Let's open this up. So it does include a nice USB-C cable. This, if you're wondering what it is, it's the joiner. So basically you can use these as like a Pro controller. And then here are the left and right Hyperion controllers. And the manual, wow, that's a thick manual. Oh, and I don't know if I'll be able to fold this because I can't fold maps either. Let's see, Bluetooth wireless joypad is the standard controller for the Switch, can be connected to play through the slide on the Switch. So basically just pair it via connecting it through the rails. And then we were wondering about the capacity on the battery. It is a 500 milliamp battery endurance, 6.5 hours of continuous work once filled. Color light is not turned off. Okay, 6.5 hours per charge. Again, just really not great translations here. EBXY directional, so 100,000 cycle life as far as how many times you can hit different things. So taking a look at the Hyperion controller itself, you can see quite a bit larger than what the original Joy-Cons were. Now, this is from my original Switch, and I have installed an optional case and D-pad mod on here. I'll have that link for you in the upper corner if you want to check that out. But even this D-pad here, considerably larger than what this one here is. Also a larger overall analog stick here too, not just the thumbstick, but the height of the thumbstick itself. You can also see considerably higher from the Joy-Con 2. That's something that I actually like quite a bit. Now the back is shaped kind of like a grip. So you do have kind of a bulge here to give you something a little bit more substantial to hold on to while you're playing, and they both kind of have that too. You can also see on the back you have your programmable buttons here and here, and then you do have on the face of it, you do have a turbo button here and here, so you can go ahead and assign turbo functionality. Now, you can also use it as an actual Pro controller as well once you use that joiner, and then your battery indicator will show right there and there. Let's go ahead, I'm going to grab my Switch OLED and let's see how easy these are to pair to that system. I do have my Switch OLED here in the Rotate from Retro Frog. Make sure you check out our video on our review on that. We're going to power on our Switch real quick. A to continue. Go back to the home screen. We're just going to slide that connected. That connected. So as you can see, this does make your Switch considerably wider, and in fact what I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my original Switch here just so we can kind of compare apples to apples as far as the overall width of the system from one to the other. Now, the OLED is, of course, a little bit wider than the original, but even here you can see that is 20% wider easily. So yeah, that is important to note. Let's go ahead here. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna turn the light down. We're gonna just do some real quick gameplay and see how these play. And one of the first games we always gotta check out, Street Fighter. So I turned down the lights a little bit so you can kind of see the lighting effects. And then to change what lights you have, you hit the turbo and then the analog stick on either the left or the right. So turbo, there's yellow, there's blue, there's green, purple, kind of an orangish yellow, kind of a white. There's more of a orange, but also has rainbow kind of colors around the analog stick. And then back to the red, and then same thing on this side. There's yellow, blue, green, purple, orange. So you can have each side independent from each other. And then if you double click, it'll go and do the breathing, where there you can see it gets dimmer and lighter. And then you just double click each time on here if you want it to breathe and change colors. There's off. Now overall, I will say these are pretty slick. I would like a little bit of texture on them, but I've used other controllers like this that I've not had a serious issue with. Now they will charge off of the Switch, or as you can see here, they do each have their own USB-C port on the bottom too. So we're gonna dive into one of the games that I just test all controllers with, and that's Street Fighter. And as always, we are gonna pick Ryu. You can see too, I've kind of gone with the breathing sort of light on both of them, the rainbow. Oh, I hate T-Hawk. Starting first with the analog sticks. Oh. Oh, he's gonna get me. Got me on that first round. I could not pull off the dragon uppercut using the analog stick. Let's try the D-pad. So far, so good. Got him. All right, let's see. We are in trouble now. Oh, we lost to T-Hawk. And I did switch to the analog stick towards the end here, so we'll try one more. T-Hawk. Let's see if we can do any better this time. Ah. Ooh. Dang, we're close. Oh, he got me. My friend Chris, when we were growing up, between Guile and T-Hawk, he could get me every single time. Still cannot pull up the dragon uppercut with the analog stick, so that's interesting. All right, we're gonna go back to the main menu here. And we're gonna just try one of the other games. Finally pull it off using the analog stick. Let's see if we can get him here. No. No, I gotta say, pulling off the dragon uppercut with the analog stick is not a good experience. So we're going to move over to Super Mario 3D World. We've been playing this a ton lately. Now, one thing I do wish was that, I mean, and they're pretty close here now, but the lights are not synced from left to right. So it'd be kind of nice if they breathed at the same rate, if that makes sense. Just see how it works with an action platformer. There we go. I gotta say the analog stick feels decent. Can't complain about that a whole lot. It does make a wide system already even wider. So that is something to kind of keep in mind. Now, one thing I've always found on this level is if you ever need to kind of recenter yourself, walk against a wall. So like there, I was able to get them both lined up. And then we have another. Let's see what we can do here with all three Marios. So there we go, we've got all three of them side by side. Yeah, I've got to say, these are working quite well. All right, come on, guys. Come back this way. There we go. Now we can get all three Mario. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, this is working fantastic for a platformer. Let's test out the turbo now on a game that I use on the regular for that, and that's Starfox. And then for this, I generally use Control B. So there's that. So Turbo B. Oh, that's because I have to hit turbo on this one, dummy. So Turbo B. Oh, I have to hit turbo on this side, not that side. So Turbo B. There you can see it's shooting. And then if I hit Turbo B again, there it's auto firing. Now one thing you can do too is change the brightness on the light. That's turbo up or down. We're gonna go maximum brightness on that. And we're gonna use the D-pad on this. Actually, we're gonna pause and turbo B. There we go. And we are auto firing now at this point. For some reason it turned the turbo off again. Pause, turbo. There we go. That was weird how it turned off the auto fire. For me, the analog stick is just more comfortable with its placement compared to the D-pad. That's why, even with Super Nintendo type games, I generally use the analog stick. Our buddy Russ is online. Russ, how you doing? No, Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Russ, what you doing? Go find out. Make sure you subscribe to Russ Lyman. He has got a fantastic channel. Yeah, this is doing exactly what I wanted to do, except for the fact I'm hitting the ground way too often. And just weird how the turbo seems a little bit, or the auto fire seems a little bit inconsistent, although it seems to be working okay now. All right, we are going to finish off with some AEW Fight Forever. This game still needs some help. It is really, really rough. Eddie Kingston looks about 200 pounds heavier than he should be there. He is not that much of a bloated boy, I'll tell you that much. Now, in this, I do have Miro as my AEW World Champion because every day is Miro Day. All right, so let's get at it and let's celebrate the greatest night in the history of this great sport. So, as we're going through this, what do I think overall of the Hyperion controller from Nyxi? It's very similar in size and shape to some of their other controllers that we've tested in the past. So if you like those, you'll like these. I do wish that it had Hall effect sensors. That's kind of getting to be where you kind of need to be at this point. The fact that I was having issues pulling off moves, especially the Dragon Uppercut, nice souffle there, in Street Fighter was kind of frustrating. I do wish that the shells had a little bit more texture to them, and I've talked about that in the past with some of their other controllers too, that they're a little bit on the slickery side. Come on, you. Oh, nice kick to the face. I think the analog sticks work okay for what they are. And again, I do wish that they were Hall effect sensors. Button presses feel pretty accurate. You press a button and it responds. Nice belly to back suplex right there. Take that. Try to pull off his special, his signature move here. Oh, boom. And again. Somebody needs to stop the damn match. I think the lights are neat. I do wish, and again to the head, I do wish that they synced with each other a little bit better. We're going to go ahead and we'll see if we can put Mr. Eddie Kingston, aka Sean Long, RGT85, out of his misery, and we did. Yeah, I mean, overall, these are decent. For the price, I think they're okay. Leaves a little bit to be desired, though, in a couple of spaces, but still going to be cheaper than buying an official set of replacement Joy-Cons. So overall, what do I think of the Nyxi Hyperion controller? Well, they're very similar, quite honestly, to other Nyxi controllers that I have tested out in the past. They've got virtually identical ergonomics, virtually identical features. You know, the LEDs and whatnot that are on here are very, very cool as well. I do wish that they synced left to right so that they would breathe, you know, at the same time, if that makes sense. And depending on which dock you're using, you may not be able to charge these attached to your Nintendo Switch. Some third-party docks just place the Switch a little bit lower than others. As such, these grips on the bottom may hit like the table or whatever you may charge your Switch on. Just have that in the back of your mind. If that happens, that's where having these dual USB-C ports on the bottom here comes in handy. You can just charge it right through the controllers themselves. Now, I do wish that this was either a battery pack or had some kind of a connection pass-through with a single USB-C port that would charge both at the same time. That would be more convenient. The other thing too, this does use standard potentiometers. They do have an upgraded version that they've come out with that now has Hall effect sensors on it. What does that mean for you? Well, for a lot of people, they have developed what's called Joy-Con drift, where at neutral, the controller still reads an input, left, right, up, down, what have you. These can eventually be prone to that because it uses a potentiometer. It is a physical switch, essentially, that can have parts that wear that can develop that issue. Hall effect sensors use essentially a magnetic field to determine neutral position, left, right, up, down. Those are less prone to having those issues. Now, they do have, like I say, a version that does have those Hall effect sensors, which would be really, really nice. These are about $55 to $60 roughly. The one with Hall effect sensors, a little bit more expensive. The other thing too, at least on these clear ones, a little bit slickery, which I did mention in the gameplay as well. If you're looking for something that offers a few more features than stock Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, a little bit more comfort, larger analog sticks, larger D-pad, well, actually have a D-pad versus the ABXY buttons, larger buttons on that side. These are definitely something you should consider. Now, I will have a link to their website down below in a pinned comment where you can go ahead and pick them up. I'll also have a link down below to the ones that have the Hall effect sensors if you do want to check those out as well. Now, I do want to thank Nyxi for going ahead and sending us this for review. They don't review this content before I go outbound with it or anything along those lines. I just appreciate them sending us a sample to give you our honest feedback on it. Decent, again, has some room for improvement. One other minor thing, at least for me, I think the Switch is too wide as it is with the stock Joy-Cons. This makes it even wider. So if you don't like how wide the Switch is with the stock Joy-Cons, you're not gonna like these. Now, this also does have the benefit, like the Hori split pad is one of the most popular types of Joy-Con replacements like this. One thing about the split pad, it doesn't have its own built-in battery pack. These do, as you can see. I can use this controller off of my Switch and it works just fine. I'm going back and forth, left, right, just like that. You can't do that with the split pad without, there's an extra battery pack adapter now, I guess, I don't know, I haven't looked into it. But these for me, much better value than what you're gonna find with the Hori split pad. Now, if you do wanna check out some of the other reviews we've done on other Nyxi controllers, I'll have those linked for you right up here. They've sent us a ton over the years. They have some good ones, they've got some great ones. Make sure to check them out.